Passion can burn you out fast. Results come slower than your ego wants. And your first hater? Well, that's actually a milestone worth celebrating. Month 6 of solo entrepreneurship just hit. And these 3 lessons, well, actually will be 4, came hard. So let's talk about it. Hey, Smart Rebel. If you are new here, I'm Natalia, a top business school career coach turned AI entrepreneur. This is going to be a shorter and more reflective check-in than usual. But these 4 lessons hit me hard this month, and I think anyone dreaming of solo work needs to hear the real version, not the glossy LinkedIn version or YouTube one. So here's what we're covering. The passion myth, the reality check on results, why you should start building your brand way earlier than you think, and why your first weird commenter is actually good news. That's right. I just met my first hater. Let's go. So, lesson 1, the passion will burn you out if you are not careful. You know that phrase, right? Find your passion and you will never work a day in your life. It's usually attributed to Confucius or Mark Twain or whoever sounds wise enough. When I teach in career management skills to business school students, I usually worry them about this idea. Why? Well, because if your work is your passion, it means you are in a constant flow and, in fact, work 24/7. So here I am on the month 6, realizing that I'm living my own lesson. That used to be a theoretical and now my day to day. Here's what actually happens when you work on something you are passionate about and really enjoy. You work all the time because it's enjoyable, because there is always something else you could improve, explore, or try. I'll be doing research at 11 p.m. because I found interesting angle. I'll spend 3 hours tweaking a design because it doesn't feel quite right yet. I will dive into a new tool or framework because it's fascinating and relevant. And none of it feels like suffering. But it also never stops. Passion doesn't reduce work, it removes the stopping point. There is no boss telling you to clock out. There is no colleague saying, that's good enough, let's wrap it up. There is just you, the work, and an endless list of things you could do to make it better. So yes, the passion myth make it sound like work disappears when you love it, but the truth, the work becomes harder to stop. That's lesson number 1. Lesson 2, early output doesn't equal early outcome. So let me tell you about November. November was hard, to be honest. So I'm running 2 parallel projects now. One is content creation with LinkedIn and this channel being the main platforms. And another is continuing collaborating with career services of business schools and my coaching practice. So in my content creator journey, I hit that moment where you start asking, okay, but where are the results? And I know, well, intellectually I know that this is normal. And I even spoke about it in my last video on the lessons after 5 months. I know that algorithms have changed. So I know the theory. Consistency, patience, building momentum takes time. Algorithms don't care how good your content is in the first few months, but knowing it and feeling it are 2 very different things. It's frustrating because you put real work into something, you know it's valuable, and the algorithm just shrugs. And here's the thing, this happens to everyone. Every single creator hits this valley. So if you are in the same place as I am now, I hear you. It's not a sign that you are failing, it's just part of the process. But when you are in it, it feels personal. So this is the reality check. Early output doesn't equal early outcome. You can be doing everything right and still see almost no traction for months. And that's normal. Not fun, but normal. I think I'm telling it to myself now, to be honest. The work you're doing now is building the foundation, and the result come later, sometimes much later. So that was my lesson too. And here is lesson 2.5, which sits inside that same realization. Personal branding takes years, not months. So start earlier than you think. This is not just for people who want to be entrepreneur or creator. This is for everyone. If you are working in a corporate right now, you should be building your expert footprint as a parallel track. Not because you are planning to quit, but because it's a strategic safety net. Share what you know, write about your field, be visible in your professional community. You don't need to aim for influencer. You just need to establish yourself as someone who knows what we are talking about. I look back now and I realize I should have been cultivating my LinkedIn presence much more actively during my last 7 years in the career services department at a business school, for example. Not because I knew I would leave, but because visibility compounds over time. Yes, it's like compound interest in investments. So plant the tree before you need the shade. Start building your personal brand now, even if it's just one post a month, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Because when you do decide to make a move, whether it's going solo, switching companies, or just positioning yourself for better opportunities, you will already have a foundation in place. So that's lesson 2.5. Lesson 3, well, actually 4. Huh? So your first irrelevant commenter is actually a visibility milestone. Okay, this one is a little strange, but it's real. A few weeks ago, someone resurfaced an old post of mine on LinkedIn, a post from over a year ago about an alumni sharing her story on relocation and visa sponsorship in Europe. And this person left 3 comments, not one, 3 separate comments, tagging me each time, asking completely bizarre, off-topic questions about something sensitive and irrelevant to the post. My first reaction was, what's happening? Is this a bot? Is this person okay? And honestly, it probably is a bot, or maybe it's just someone unstable scrolling through random posts. Either way, completely irrelevant to me or my content. But here's what I realized after the initial confusion. This person has 0 connections in common with me. My content is not supposed to be relevant to them. They shouldn't even be seeing my post in their feed, which means my content is reaching beyond my immediate network. And that's actually something to celebrate, because here's how the social media algorithm promotes your content: first to your connections, then to people for whom it might be relevant based on interests or behavior. So this person was neither, which means my posts are getting enough engagement to push into wider distribution. The first time a stranger, even a weird one, interacts with your content, that's not a crisis. That's a moment to celebrate. It means you're getting noticed. So that was my lesson 4. So there you have it. 6 months in, and here are the 4 lessons that hit me hardest. 1. Passion doesn't make work easier. It makes it harder to stop. 2. Results come slower than your ego wants. Early output doesn't equal early outcome. 2.5, or let's say 3. Start building your personal brand now, years before you think you need it. And 4, celebrate your first weird commenter. It's a visibility milestone. These are not the lessons you see in the motivational posts, but they are the ones you leave when you are actually doing the work. And honestly, I'm still learning. Month 7 is probably going to surprise me too. If you are considering going solo one day, save this video for when you hit month 6. Maybe later or maybe earlier. Who knows? Because you will need the reminder that what you are feeling is normal. And if you have already lived any of these lessons, even inside corporate life. Drop a comment and tell me which one hit hardest for you. Subscribe if you want the next monthly check in. Every 13th of the month, I'm here celebrating my freedom from corporate life and sharing what I'm actually learning. The messy, real version of building something from scratch. Talk soon.